Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to, oh gosh, I've got to stay on my spot. Good afternoon and welcome to Bournemouth University. My name's Matthew Desmere. I am one of the business engagement managers here. I want to thank you all for coming along this afternoon, giving up your time to hear how we can help each other solve issues, exploit the opportunities and grow our businesses. I think it's a great opportunity for us here. We've got some brilliant guests that we want to share with this afternoon and show off our wonderful students as well who are going to film this as if it were a TV show. It is a TV show. Let me get that right. It is a TV show. Bournemouth University is one of Europe's largest dedicated media schools, and it's rare that we get a chance to invite an audience in like yourselves and such esteemed guests that we've got this afternoon. So we've got the Vice Chancellor and Chief Executive of Bournemouth University. He's going to give you a little bit of an introduction. Then we're really pleased to have the innovation lead from Innovate UK and the head of the Knowledge Transfer Partnerships Programme, who's going to talk to you a little bit about this wonderful product that I'm hoping most of you know about, but you'll be forgiven if you haven't heard of it. And then we've got two local businesses who are going to talk to you about their experiences of this product. It's a great way to help you guys develop new products and services and grow your businesses. It's quite hot underneath these lights, and it's very stressful having these three cameras pointing at me whilst I try and ignore them. So please bear with me and all of our guests this afternoon, and I hope you really get something from it. Now, without further ado, I want to introduce you to Professor Alison Honour. She's the Vice Chancellor and Chief Executive of Bournemouth University. So, give us a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matt, and good afternoon to everybody. So first of all, just to introduce myself, I am Alison Honour. I'm the Vice Chancellor and CEO of Bournemouth University. It's a huge privilege to be in that leadership position. We're incredibly fortunate today to have a very, very special guest, which is entirely appropriate for what we are doing here this afternoon. So the real purpose of today is to champion our KTPs and promote those to our local businesses, and to talk about some of the things that we do at Bournemouth University. And to really support that, we are incredibly fortunate to have Richard Lamb, Innovation Lead and KTP Programme Director for Innovate UK, joining us today. And Richard's had a fantastic career focusing around innovation, particularly working with KTPs. He has been in the role for around 7 years, a really key role for UK innovation. He's had a long, successful business career in a range of knowledge transfer roles. He did this at postgraduate degree at Canterbury Christ Church University, one of my previous institutions, I should say, a certificate of education, higher education, which he achieved there, and also holds an MA from Open University. So I will invite him in a moment. But before that, let's just talk a little bit about the importance of knowledge transfer partnerships, which are key for us as a university to drive innovation for the region and to meet our business needs. That's incredibly important to us. And today you're going to hear from Richard, who will give you more information about the KTP process and some of our local businesses and our local business partners who are working with us through our KTPs. And I hope that that will evidence how we're bringing our university knowledge into improving aspects of their business, developing new services, new products, and building capacity. So I'm really hoping that you'll hear some of those successes today. We're really passionate about where we live, where we work, where the university is placed, so much so that we see ourselves as an absolute engine of innovation for the region. And our new strategy, BU 2035, puts that at the absolute heart of our role. And that's everything through our civic role, our business engagement, working with our partnerships. And that's not just to drive economic growth. It's about providing opportunities for our students. It's about understanding the skills needs, and KTPs and working in partnership with businesses helps us to understand what are those skills gaps, what is it that you need, so that we can develop our students in line with those employment needs. And that's critical in terms of providing the great opportunities that we have for our students that are involved in this amazing production today, giving them those real insights into what's going to be needed now, but also into the future. But we don't want to be an island. We don't want to be a university that's an island. We want to know and understand our local context. And working with our local businesses give us that insight to listen to you, to hear from you, but also to learn from you. Because universities shouldn't just be a place of giving knowledge. They should be places where we acquire it, where we continue to learn as well. And your expertise that you bring from your disciplines, your areas, your sector, your expertise areas are absolutely critical for us to understand how we meet those needs into the future. And KTPs we see as a fantastic vehicle to make this happen. And I've been a huge fan of KTPs throughout my career, certainly for the last sort of decade. And we're really fortunate that we have currently 7 KTPs that we have, so successful KTPs that are currently running. And I know that we've got at least 2 of those KTP businesses here today, Crowd and Yamiyap. And I understand that they're going to be talking about their experiences of working with BU, which is fantastic. It'd be great to hear from them. We've also got 4 other KTPs that are running, at least those, with Nourish Care, Blue Star, Improve Well, and ClickerSnap. And each partnership is helping to host organisation either, so each partnership is helping the host organisation to either develop new products and services, as I say, or streamline their current processes, enabling them to be more efficient. But it might be that we actually develop new ways of working as a result of those KTPs. And I've been involved with KTPs in the past in my previous institutions, and we were very fortunate to win Innovate UK awards for those KTPs. So I kind of know what good KTPs look like, and I think we have some great KTPs here. And I was just talking to Richard before I came onto stage to talk to you, and it was great to hear that we do actually have an amazing pedigree for this work, but I'm going to let him talk to you about that more. So hopefully this is going to be a really, really important afternoon so that we demonstrate our commitment to working with you, to making a difference in our regional business community. That's absolutely our commitment, but also to help to see your ideas grow and flourish and how we can actually support that. And as we're speaking today, it might be that you begin to think about and identify areas where you think as a university we can help. And KTPs might be the right vehicle for that to happen. So it might just spark some ideas within the audience here today. If you've got any questions or you'd like to talk to us about your business needs, we're always here to help. And you can speak to any member of the team that are here today. So just drop us an email as well on business@bournemouth.ac.uk. And I wish you all the best today. You're in good hands. I hope you're impressed by the role of our brilliant students here today, undertaking all of the production, which is what we do. We do very much practice-based learning, which is important for their skills and their skills development. And now it's my huge pleasure to build on the introduction that I've given and to hand over to Richard Lamb from Innovate UK.
Hello, thank you very much, Alison.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me here in Bournemouth today. It's great to be here as part of KTP's 50th anniversary celebrations. This is the final stop on my tour around the UK before next week, where we have our 50th anniversary conference in Manchester, where we will be bringing the whole of the KTP community together to celebrate 50 glorious years. Thank you to the whole team as well here at Bournemouth for having me and putting on this amazing event. I've never done one of these in a TV studio before, so it's a really novel experience. But thank you, Alison. Thank you, Matt, Finn, Vanya and Tim, and everyone else who's participating today. And if you've had any role in pulling this together, thank you very much. So yes. Oh. I'm going the wrong way. I've got not working, Matt. There we go. Marvellous. Right, the slides are working now. So, hello. Yes, my name is Richard Lamb. I'm the KTP Programme Manager at Innovate UK. It's brilliant to be here because it feels a bit like coming home. I was here 12 months ago, just over 12 months ago, for the Ktp Managers Conference, and walking back through the campus this afternoon, it brought back such happy memories of the couple of days that we spent here last summer. It was brilliant, so thank you very much for hosting that event. Innovate UK is the UK's innovation agency. We're part of UK Research and Innovation, UKRI, and Innovate is tasked with creating a better future for the country by inspiring, investing and involving business in the process of innovation. We do this through a range of grant funding, but dare I say, not only is KTP one of the biggest programs that Innovate UK runs, I also think it's the absolute best, epitomising everything that's good about partnership working. We've been going since 1975, and as a survivor in the grant space, 50 years is quite an achievement. We started off as the Teaching Company Scheme with 3 projects. 2 of the companies are still going, actually, which is another minor miracle, but we're now knowledge transfer partnerships. I hope we can all agree that over those 50 years, we've been doing pretty well. In fact, I think as far as we can tell, KTP and Teaching Company Scheme, we are the longest running business support program in the UK and probably anywhere in the world. And that's an achievement I'm very proud of, and I hope you are too, because pretty much everyone here has had a part to play in that longevity and a part to play in our future as well. KTP is very much a family affair. Not only have we got our family here in Bournemouth, Stephen Woodhouse, one of our knowledge transfer advisors, is here, he's hiding at the top of the stairs. But we've got our businesses here and some of our associates. We cannot do this without you and without the universities and businesses across the UK having faith in our programme to deliver some benefit to your business and benefit to the university as well. Since 1975, we've supported somewhere in the region of 14,000 projects. That's as far back as our spreadsheets go, give us 14,000, and they start around 1983. Approximately 11,000 of these businesses have been with SMEs, so about 3/4 of them have been targeting the beating heart of the UK economy, and that's those 6 million SME businesses. From 2010 to 2020, Innovate invested around £200 million into the KTP programme, and we've returned collectively over £2 billion to the UK economy. That's not a bad return on your investment, and if you are getting that kind of return in your building society account, I think everyone would be very, very happy. Now, we continue to fund KTP, 300-ish new projects a year. In fact, I've got space in my budget to fund around 400. So if you're here today thinking about doing a KTP, whether you're an academic or whether you're a business, talk to the team here. Let's get your application in. Let's see if we can help you innovate. The university's got quite a long history with KTP, and I was really pleasantly surprised to find this out, trawling our data. It goes back to 1983 when we had the first application, or your first successful project, way back when. Since then, peaks and troughs, like many universities, but it wasn't all that long ago that you went back down to zero, and it's taken a gargantuan effort by Matt and Finn and the whole team here to build that up to 7 projects confirmed, 1 in the pipeline, and hopefully with round 4 of our competition opening next Monday, many, many more. And I know the initial target here is to have 10, but I'm sure if we could find you another 10 on top of that, the university would be very happy and incredibly supportive of that. So since 1983, 143 applications, as far as I can make out, possibly even more, because I suspect I haven't included those last 7 because they're on a different system. 87% of those projects are with SMEs, and that tells me something really important, that this university is a key regional player. You are working to help businesses in the supply chain of the primes to deliver innovation. You are working at the very heart of the UK economy, and that is something you should be incredibly proud of. That means over the years you've had about £11 million worth of funding through KTP from Innovate. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but bear in mind in 1983 the cost of a project was about £20,000. So scale that over time, and the average cost now is about, I don't know, £150,000, £180,000. That's not bad, and the income stream from that for the university right now is very, very healthy. But that £11 million translates into projects with a total of about 14 million, which is great because the businesses contribute as well. And that translates to about £60 million of money coming back into the local economy, generating jobs, generating growth, and sustaining business in this area, which I think is fabulous. And give yourselves a round of applause, because that's an amazing achievement. Again, thank you for hosting the KTP Managers Conference. I had to get some, I got Matt in his shorts, because that seemed to be a key feature of the conference. But it was a lot of fun, so thank you for hosting that last year. And my slides keep moving around, and I can't read the last bit on the bottom. Yes, the reason why there's a lava lamp on that slide, a company called Mathmos, who you may never have heard of, but they are the originators, the creators of the lava lamp. And I was thrilled last night when I found this information, because we've got a lava lamp, we've got a Mathmos lava lamp at home, and it's like, oh great, another KTP in the house, and I didn't even realise. So it's amazing the impact that you've had locally, but also on some of the brands that are iconic, not only in the UK, but in the world. So 50 years of KTP has delivered a lot. Hopefully some of the words on these slides mean something to you. But talk to different people and they all have a different opinion on what KTP has done. But I think what we can all agree on is that over 50 years, the KTP journey has been pretty amazing. But why does KTP work so well? It's because I think we act as custodians of the programme. We work for KTP, not Innovate, not our university, not Innovate UK Business Connect, or any other of the organisations. We are all focused on the delivery of the KTP programme, and that makes us different. We have pride and we have ownership in what we do. We are flexible but consistent. We have as many guidelines as we can and as few rules as possible. And we have strength through diversity of people and thought, which creates community and partnership, because together we are better. And I believe that is at the heart of the KTP mindset. We're in a permanent state of evolution. As recent events, those of you who know, we had quite a traumatic week last week. A policy change at Innovate UK has meant that we're no longer able to proceed with some of the projects that we had in our pipeline. And that's difficult. But we are constantly evolving and we are constantly pushing the boundaries. We look for new technologies, we look for new ways of working and new themes that we can exploit. We're striving for excellence in ourselves and in our projects, and we do have to realign ourselves for each new government, each new minister, and each new CEO that we encounter. And for those of you that don't know, Innovate UK and UKRI have both got brand new chief executives who have come in with completely new and fresh ideas, which is leading to a significant change across the whole of the UKRI world. But we are focused now on finding those businesses that want to grow rapidly, and we are here to support you. But at times like this, you know, we're celebrating our 50th anniversary. It's really tempting to look back, but we need to have one eye firmly on our future, because the future will not be what we imagine. And I've been talking to these slides for a few months now, and if you are coming to the conference, you might see them again. But I think this is an important point. Whenever you look at things that predict the future, so if you look at films, apparently it was Back to the Future Day yesterday, the day when they went into the future, and it's kind of like the future on that film is not what they were thinking. You know, there's no flying cars, there's no self-tying shoelaces, and we've gone beyond communicating by fax. And if you look at other films that are trying to predict the future, they get bits of it right. If you think about, you know, the great science fiction shows, things like Star Trek, they have a communicator. We've got iPhones, and our iPhones can do almost exactly what those communicators can do, and more. You know, we live our lives on our iPhone, but I don't see the iPhone or a smartphone anywhere in that visioning of what the future might be. So we need to keep one eye on what the future could be, so we can start spotting the trends and help support the next iPhone, whatever that might be. And interestingly, we've had some research done. We went back through our records, and in 2008, we started to see the signs of AI. It wasn't called AI back then, but we started to see the signs. And in the last 4 or 5 years, as you can imagine, AI has exploded within the KTP world. What that tells me is if only I had a crystal ball, I'd be able to tell what those future trends are going to be, because those projects already exist in KTP. And that's a fascinating thought to end on. KTP continues to grow and evolve, and with your support, I hope it will thrive. Not just for now, but hopefully for the next 50 years as well. Thank you for being part of the KTP community, and thank you for coming to celebrate our 50th anniversary, but keeping one eye firmly on our centenary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. Really appreciate that. So it's fascinating that this product, you know, as Richard said, it's quite possibly the UK's longest running, most successful business support program. When myself and Finn and Rachel and my colleagues from the university are out talking about it, we often find, though, that we're introducing it for the very first time. That as successful as it has been, and the amount of money that Richard told us has been invested into the UK economy, that has been invested into the businesses, the fact that we've had all of those applications that, I mean, I can't take credit for all of them, any of them, some of them. Let's go with some of them. I'll take credit for one of them. But that we have this, and it's still one of the UK's best kept secrets. It really shouldn't be that way, and I think that's why we're putting on this event today, is why we've invited you guys in to learn a bit more about it. So, by way of means to learn a little bit more about it, we've invited some businesses along to talk about their experiences of it. So the first one of those I'd like to invite up is Matt King. Matt King is the general manager of YammerYap. They're a local Bournemouth-based software development company who are currently at the very start of their KTP journey. And I'm going to have a chat with him right now, in front of these cameras, in front of you, to try and tell you a little bit more about what's involved in the KTP program. So Matt King.
Hello, Matt.
Hello, Matt.
Hello, Matt.
I'm going to leave my mic here because I'm not mic'd up. Right, so, Matt, tell me a little bit about Yamiap before we get started.
We are a software development agency. We're based in Bournemouth, and we make software that you can't buy off the shelf, and it's software which works with businesses that quote, build, and deliver to order. So think manufacturing as a sweeping generalization.
So you're building bespoke software products?
Yes.
For any
think
industry?
ERPs, CRMs, just like the brain that sits in the middle of a business.
The brain that sits in the middle of a business. What
Right.
a wonderful phrase. Now, I know when Richard was talking about KTPs, he talked about being innovative and creative, innovative products and services. Is that not something then that you guys do on a daily basis?
We kind of do, yeah. Yeah, you could say that. I mean, we match the software specifically to the business. Whereas a CRM or an ERP system, you buy it off the shelf and then you kind of crowbar the system into your business. Right. We build software which is made exactly for your business. So if you send invoices after 3 days, for example, but the piece of software that you've bought doesn't do that, we'll do exactly what your business does.
Okay.
So it's not really innovative, but we're just matching the business processes. The businesses that we work with are innovative.
So self-sure, of course it's innovative. So you're, as I just said to the people here, you're at the start of your KTP journey. What does that mean?
We are, so do you want me to talk about the processes, or do you want me to talk about,
well, I'll tell you what,
we're interviewing applicants, we're reviewing applicants with Bournemouth University on Monday.
What is the project then that you're undertaking for as a KTP?
Well, I'll take you back to what we initially thought the project was going to be.
Okay.
Because when we started to think about a KTP, I think I remember coming to the conference. I might have sat at the back when you did.
You did, because we had Jeff Dodds from Formula E.
That's correct.
Yes.
So that's when I first heard about the KTP, and then I had conversations with you, conversations with various members of the team. It's been a long process, but we initially thought, so we're a software agency, developers at heart will make software. They're not very good at selling it. So we've got 4 or 5 software products that we had in our cupboard, and we thought maybe we could use the KTP to launch those.
Right.
That was quickly rejected because we could hire somebody to do that. We could hire a project manager or a product manager. We could hire a market researcher to see if these products would fit in the marketplace. So that's not what the KTP is for.
So that's quite an important distinction then. So this is, if you can go out and source that support, then it doesn't fit the KTP mold.
Correct.
This has got to be something new.
Innovative. And now everyone's thinking, well, what have you done then?
Yeah.
So actually, we're going one step further up the chain. What we want to do is identify in marketplaces and in industries products which don't exist yet. So think Uber. Uber didn't exist before Uber came along. There was an industry which was struggling with taxi firms and not knowing when your cab was going to arrive. Uber came and revolutionized that industry. What we're trying to do is create a framework where an entrepreneur, a business, or even ourselves can place a product idea through this framework, and we've got kind of a better chance of success. I wouldn't say guarantee success, but we want to make that success almost guaranteed.
So you're build how the product then that you're trying to develop, or the framework that you're trying to develop. How did you talk about that in terms of pitching this? So Richard and his team at Innovate have agreed to fund the project or part fund the project.
Yeah.
So you had to convince them that there was some kernel of an idea.
The process is quite collaborative. So we worked with the team at BU. We've spoke to Rachel quite a lot. Is that me? Is that me?
No, you're all right. Carry on.
So we spoke to the team at BU. We did lots of to-in and fro-in, and then we worked with Stephen, who's up at the back, from the from Innovate team, and we refined the process. So Stephen's very good at sort of helping you understand where something will be innovative and something where it won't.
Well, actually, if we go back, you said you learnt about KTPs at the conference, which was 12 months ago.
Yeah.
And I know that you're about to host your Learning Management Committee
Zero,
kickoff,
yeah.
zero.
Yeah.
So it's taken 12 months to get to this point. So this is not necessarily a straightforward
No,
process.
100%. Yeah. There's a lot of trying to understand what the KTP framework does. I mean, that's what we're all here for today. But there's also a lot of you have to. Let's not beat around the bush. There's a lot of forms to fill out. There's a lot of understanding that you need to do. You have to enter the competition. You have to be awarded the grant funding in its place, and then you have to start the process of finding applicants for your KTP, and then we're at the
So
stage right now.
you've really got to be committed to this idea. This can't just be a whim that you're having. This is a substantial business-changing activity that you want to undertake.
Yeah, and I think where our business has thought about KTPs before, our managing director has thought about the KTPs, but unless you've got somebody who's committed to owning that process and making sure that you're going to be filling out the forms, you're going to review meetings with the university, you're going to review meetings with Innovate. Unless you've got somebody who's owning the KTP in your business, I think it'll be very, very difficult.
But I suppose it's worthwhile in the end, because what's the likely impact then that you guys are anticipating?
I think it will be massive. I think it's going to be game changing. I mean, we're working with the university, and we've got academics on the marketing side. We've got people changing culture. We've got Rachel, who works within the business school. So all of these people are going to contribute with the associate to improving our business. Our business has to fundamentally change. We create software for other businesses. We want to create software for other people and for ourselves, which fit within a framework which is going to give us a great chance of success.
So was the catalyst for this understanding that as the landscape is changing, as businesses are changing, as new technologies are coming on board and becoming made available, your business, Yami App's business, needs to adapt and evolve.
Yeah.
And knowing how to do that is where you draw on the skills of the university?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we don't know what we don't know. So if you ask me to describe what this framework is going to look like, I wouldn't be able to tell you, because that's why it's so innovative.
It's me, it's my fault.
I'll carry on talking whilst you're doing that. So we need to fundamentally change. So we need to change the people and, not the people, but the culture and the behaviours within our business to make sure that the people who are within the business accept this change.
Yep.
But we also need to change our practices and how everything. Our business is set up for one purpose at the moment. We need to change it so it innovates for the future.
I mean, that sounds like quite a that sounds like a huge project.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of scary. Is it kind of scary?
A little bit. That's why we're getting an associate.
But I suppose that's the wonderful thing then. The benefit of a knowledge transfer partnership is, to a certain degree, Innovate UK are de-risking this to a degree.
Yeah. We want to give it the greatest chance of success. So I think if you've got somebody who owns it within the business and works with the university and works with Innovate, you're going to have a greater chance of success. Finding the right associate is massively important, and we've got our first kick-off on Monday. And then the whole process, making sure that you've got the right team, which is what we did with the work that we've done over the last 12 months with BU, making sure that we've got the right academics on the KTP side within the university. We're setting everything up to give it the greatest chance of success. It's just now down to implementing. And I think the chap who was talking before, he was talking about making sure that there is a greater chance of success, because everybody is focused on making sure the KTP is a success.
I mean, that's the thing. I know you mentioned it was a competition, and we know it's a competition because actually there is a finite resource, a finite financial resource. So it has to be a relative amount of competition, but it's not a zero-sum game. Everyone wants you to succeed. That's the point.
Yeah.
All the way, whether it's the university, whether it's Innovate UK or Business Connect, everyone working along the way you're all focused in the same direction.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. We want our business to succeed, which is ultimately why we're all.
But you have to invest in it. This isn't just time. There is a financial commitment.
There is a financial commitment. I mean, the university gets funding. We have to pay the associate who's going to be placed in our business. But it's the access to the resources that we wouldn't ordinarily have. So, whereas I was talking before about we could hire a market researcher, If we need to do some market research piece as part of our Innovate KTP, then we can lean on the university. It's using all of the resources which are within the university, alongside the associate, alongside what we're doing as a business, and kind of making this little nice-looking cake, and hopefully we'll have a decent result at the end of it.
Decent party with this cake.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep you here just a little bit longer. I'm interested to know where the initial idea for what it is you guys want to do came from. Where did that spark of an idea? What if we could do this? Where did that come from?
Failed attempts at launching software products.
Okay.
So as I said before, we've got a team of developers. Developers are really keen at building stuff. They want to sit in a darkened room with mushrooms and code, but they don't necessarily want to get out and speak to people and say, here you go, this is a piece of software which might help you. So that's where the initial spark came from. We've just taken it a stage further to try and identify these software products. So they're not all on it's not all on our shoulders. It's on market research, it's on the industry needs, it's on lots of different factors that we can identify the next Uber, the next iPhone, that type of scenario.
I mean, it's almost like the title of this session. You saw an opportunity to exploit it.
100%.
You identified the issues you needed to solve.
Yeah.
And then you called on the university because we're just
like the A-team.
Yeah, it's like the A-team.
Yeah.
Love it when a plan comes together. Matthew, thanks. Matt. Thank you very much. I really appreciate
My mum
your
calls me
time.
Matthew.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Matt.
You go. Right, so that was, I'm going to just try and skip forward to, here we go. That was Matt. So Matt is from Yummy App, as I said. They're right at the start of their KTP journey. You've heard it wasn't a straightforward thing. It took 12 months to get to this point. I think it's worth reiterating that you've got to be really invested in this. You've got to really understand the benefits that are going to come from it and how it's going to help and grow your business by the time you put it in. But I think that the rewards that you will reap from that are, well, hopefully eightfold is the target number that we're going for. Now, next up then, we've got Sky and Nathan from Crowd. So Crowd, again, well, actually, these are a global company that have a UK presence. We've been working where Bournemouth University has been working with them for a while. So they are halfway through their KTP journey. This is going to be now, so Sky and Nathan are going to talk to you about their experiences of working on a KTP. Thank you. This is so you can jump forward to Nathan's video.
To Professor Honour for the welcome, and to Richard and the entire Innovate UK team for inviting me and Nathan to speak today. We're delighted to be here at Bournemouth University to celebrate an incredible milestone, your 50 years of the KTP. 50 years of bridging the gap between brilliant ideas and real-world impact. My name is Sky McNeil, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Crowd. We are a global marketing agency, and our mission is to help brands, organisations and government expand into new territories and prepare for what's next. For us, what's next became very clear a couple of years ago: artificial intelligence. Our AI journey started with an experience at the South by Southwest Festival in Texas. The reaction was incredible. We saw firsthand the powerful emotional connection AI could create. But that was just the beginning. As AI exploded into the public consciousness, we could clearly foresee how this technology would impact and even erode many traditional agency services. We knew that to thrive, we had to fundamentally pivot our business model. We had to evolve and lean into product-based offerings. That strategic decision was one thing, but the question remained, what problem should we solve? And that's when we had our classic aha moment. As a branding agency, we design beautiful, bespoke PowerPoint templates for our clients. But time and again, we saw those templates being used by the client's staff, as well as their expensive consultants, who would then go completely off-brand. The final straw was seeing a presentation come back to us, and I still shudder when I say this, with big red Comic Sans. This highlighted a massive universal problem. Companies invest in professional branding, only for it to be diluted by inconsistent presentations. The solution was clear. We needed to build an AI-powered presentation tool that creates perfectly on-brand presentations with the correct tone of voice every single time. That tool is Consistica. But we immediately hit a wall, a talent wall. As a creative agency based in Bournemouth, how could we possibly find and afford the specialist AI developers we needed? We simply couldn't compete with the likes of Google or OpenAI. Our big idea, our entire strategic pivot felt impossible. For any business investing heavily in R&D, it can feel like a prohibitive cost, especially in the current climate. And that is where the KTP didn't just help us, it completely transformed our business. This is the magic of the KTP. And for a business like ours, it is a genuine game changer. It's a combination of both talent and financial support. It's a bridge that embeds cutting-edge academic knowledge into a commercial environment, giving companies access to brilliant minds we couldn't otherwise reach. Crucially, as it's been touched on before, it de-risks that investment by providing significant grant funding to cover the majority of costs. Suddenly, a daunting R&D project becomes a viable strategic move. For us, the KTP was the enabler. Without it, our pivot into products would have just remained an idea. But the proof is in the pudding, so let's show you what this incredible program has allowed us to build. Nathan Accrual is from one of the team here at Crowd, and he is leading this project. He works alongside Thomas Mercer, our fantastic KTP associate from Bournemouth University, supported by supervisors Marson and Vigard. This partnership of industry and academia, made possibly only through the KTP framework, has been the driving force behind this innovation. Nathan will now give you a brief look at the platform they've created.
Hi everyone, so I'm going to show you our platform Consistica, which as Sky's told us about is a presentation tool using AI to keep presentations on brand. So I'm just going to press play on the video and I'll talk you through what the process is like. Here we go. So we've built this with government level security in mind. So here you can see me logging into our platform. We're hoping to inject this into government agencies so everything is secure. We have a ring-fenced version of an LLM that has no outside influence and data does not leave the system. Here you can see the presentations I've worked on in the past, and I'm going to click on Create a New Presentation and start prompting our AI model. Before I start prompting, I'm actually going to change some of the parameters we've built in, so I'm going to allow it to generate AI images. I can change the length of the presentation, and I can also give some direction on who the presentation is for, what's the scene, what's the audience. So here I'm prompting a presentation on why Innovate UK KTPs are so great. So the AI model is going to think about that a little bit and it will guide me through the presentation process. So you can see it's asking me some questions. Who's the audience? Is there a specific goal? Are there any supporting materials? I could upload an existing presentation. I could upload some data. The AI will use that to then form the presentation around it and everything will be on brand. So I'm carrying on, I'm asking its questions, and it's going to keep me leading through, and then it's going to give me an outline. And once I adjust that outline, it's then going to give me a full set of slides that you'll be able to see. Behind the scenes, we've trained this on our Crowd brand, so it's using our Crowd PowerPoint templates. And we've also got a knowledge base, so it knows everything about our agency, and it can use the right tone of voice and everything relating to Crowd. So as you can see, it's given me an outline, and now I've got a full set of slides ready to go. So what I can do from here is click Preview, and it's going to show me a preview of the slides in the Crowd brand. Our vision for this is as we onboard new clients, we'll be able to create templates for them. We'll be able to embed all of the knowledge about their brand, their business, into this LLM system so that everything it produces is perfectly on brand with what that business is, and it will support their vision and their goals as well. So here we can see the preview images are starting to load. They'll start popping in on the right-hand side, and as they pop through, I can click, I can zoom in, I can check everything's okay. If there's something I wanted to tweak, I could go back and I could chat to the model and say, I'd like to put slide 5 in the position of slide 4, something like that. But in the background, we've got a nice API that our associate Thomas Mercier has built. This is where everything runs through an LLM, all the templates, all of the information about layout, font styles, colors, everything is in there. So you can see now I've got a full set of slides. It's just running through a quality check, make sure there's no overlapping text, make sure there's no spelling mistakes, anything like that. I can see a close-up preview, I can look through, and this is our Crowd template. And you can see it's generated some images there as well, so we can adjust those later if we don't like them. Once that's finished, I can then click on Generate, and we can actually get the full set of slides ready for me to start editing in our inbuilt editor. What we envision for this as well is you could export this as a PPTX to edit in PowerPoint separately or present. You could also export it as a PDF or as a set of images for any system that we like. We're also exploring the idea of having a built-in presentation tool as well, so you can present from our platform, so you don't need to go anywhere else. So you can see the slides are popping in from behind here, and it's going to load into our editing screen. Great. So what I can do here is, without messing up any of the layout or the brand elements, I can start clicking on things and editing just text. I can start editing images, but I won't be able to mess up the layout. I won't be able to change the fonts or do anything ridiculous like add Comic Sans, like Sky mentioned before. So I'm going to change this heading. I'm not a massive fan of it, so I'm going to actually use this heading to explain what a KTP is, so Knowledge Transfer Partnerships. This is then saved, and we have a version control system that saves all the edits, so I could go back and forth between different edits as I don't like them or do like them. I just click through some of the other slides. I could edit any of this if I wanted to, if I wasn't too happy. We've also built in ways of editing this with using LLM, so I could give it a prompt and say, hey, I don't like this bit of text. I'd like it more reworded in this way, and I could get the LLM to do that. Same with the images. So if you see here, I could click on this image, I could enter a prompt, and it would regenerate that image based on my prompt. Finally, what we've built in as well is a way to collaborate across different teams. One of the problems we were coming across is that these PowerPoints were being sent across in different versions to different people, and things were getting muddled. So I could share this with Jamie, our CEO. I could give him permission to edit, and now all he needs to do is log into the platform, go to his dashboard, and he'll see this presentation here. He can pick up where I left off and finish off his bits if there's any adjustments he needs to make. So it would come in this list here. Jamie would see my presentation. Finally, what we've built into this is just an extra little tool to help people learn how to give good presentations. So if I click on presentation skills, there's a set of videos that we've put all our expertise on how to give good presentations into a good set of videos that all of our users can watch and learn and grow as they use our tool. And that's everything. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Nathan. A fantastic demonstration of what true collaboration produces. The KTP project was the catalyst, but our journey with Innovate UK has been much broader. The support we've received has been a framework for growth. The guidance from our innovation and growth specialist, Jane Bradford, has been invaluable, especially with critical support around our IP strategy. I also want to thank Finn Morgan from Bournemouth University, who was instrumental in guiding us through this process from the very beginning. Through Innovate UK, more recently, we undertook the Secure Innovation Security Review. This was a critical step for us, as Consistica is designed to work with government and enterprise-level clients, as Nathan touched on, where security is paramount. The final report officially validated our robust approach to cyber security, giving us and our future clients complete confidence in the platform. This holistic support is what makes the UK's innovation ecosystem so powerful. So to conclude, what does 50 years of the knowledge transfer partnership look like in practice? For Crowd, the KTP with Bournemouth University did more than just help us build a product. It gave us the confidence, the talent, and the momentum to fundamentally change the direction of our company. It has been, without a single doubt, a pivotal force for our business. To the local business leaders in the foyer today, if you take one thing away from our story, let it be this. If you have an innovative idea but are facing your own talent wall or are concerned about the cost of R&D, I wholeheartedly encourage you to reach out to the Innovate UK team. Explore the KTP program. Based on our experience, you have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. The product Nathan just showed you, our Consistica, is being tested, and we expect to be in a position to roll it out by next month. If you'd like to learn more about how we are solving the big red Comic Sans problem for good, I invite you to visit the R&D section of our new website, thisiscrowd.com, and go to the R&D Labs link, top right. Our CEO, Jamie Sargent, also sends his personal thanks and echoes the sentiment that this has been a fantastic program for Crowd. Thank you, and happy 50th anniversary to the truly transformative knowledge transfer partnership. Thank you.
Guy and Nathan, look, it's been a whistle-stop tour this afternoon amongst KTPs. I trust that you found it interesting, and I sincerely hope that you were inspired or found something that you might want to explore further. There is a wealth of opportunity right here between these four walls at Bournemouth University. There is a wealth of opportunity within Richard and the Innovate UK team. There's a big pot of money that you may or may not get some access to, and we here at Bournemouth University can help you spend it, if you so choose. Myself and Finn, and there's a load of academics in the room, are going to stick around for the next hour or so if you want to have a chat with us. I'm sure Sky and Nathan and Matt will stick around if you want to find out a little bit more about their projects, the process that they went through. Other than that, I've got your emails and I will spam you. Thank you very much.